Hello, I will discuss a function pair star recursive where we want to solve this problem using recursion. And the idea is to add an asterisk between the same symbol. So if we have two A's here, I have to put asterisk or this symbol between those two A's. If I don't have the same characters, then there is no asterisk here. So if the input would be, let's have an example, for example, AA, BBC, then for AA I have to add this asterisk. Between B's I have to add an asterisk, and here is no asterisk. So basically I want to compare two symbols. If they are the same, then I put the symbol between those. Then I take the next two symbols, they are not the same, then I don't add the asterisk and so on. And let's see how to solve this using recursion. First, I will try to draw it. And let's say we have some elements here. Let's say those are symbols. They can be same, they can be different, so on. So I will add some text here also. So let's say this is A, this is A, this is B, 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 and I don't know, A. Usually what we do with recursion is that we cannot use loops, and often with strings or with lists also we try to do something here with the first, for example, two symbols, or with the first symbol, and then call out the recursion for the rest of the function, or rest of the input. So usually it's something like that. I do something here and then I call out the same function, but now using this input, what is left from taking the first element out, for example. And then inside that function, because it's a recursion, we also take the first element and call out the function for the rest of the string and so on. So, and here basically we do the same, but it's a bit more tricky because using only the first symbol we cannot actually tell whether we want to add an asterisk or not. So therefore we actually have to check more than one element. So basically I have to check the two elements here and compare those two elements because they are the same. So basically there are two options, whether they are the same or whether they are not the same. If they are not the same, then we can say that the result is basically the symbol itself. So let's say it's A, and we add the function call for the rest of the string. So A, B, 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 A. Okay, here that's actually not correct. For example, let's say it's B or whatever. So if it's a different symbol, or if those two symbols are different, then we take the first symbol and call out the function for the rest of the string. So the idea is that I check the first symbol. If I know that there is no need for asterisks, I call out the function for the rest of the string. And here I don't know yet whether there should be any asterisks or not, but this function knows that. So basically I take that the result is B, plus we add whatever comes from this function. And here I can have how many asterisks is required, but currently it's not my business, so that's the point of recursion. I only look one step at a time, and because I'm doing it, I actually solve the whole problem. But now if they have the same symbols, then I can do so that I add A, this is the first symbol here, now I add this asterisk, and now I call out the same function again with the rest of the string. So in a more general way it would be something like that. So I take the first symbol, s index 0 plus asterix plus function, and from the rest of the string. And here I take the first symbol and just call out the function for the rest of the string. So basically this is the idea, and then you have to also figure out what's the kind of end condition. So if I reach here, if there's no symbols left, then I can just probably return empty string. So yeah, basically we still do it in a way that we check the first element and then do something depending on what is the first element, and then call out the function for the rest of the string. So this is this one. But if we usually compare or work only with the first symbol, then now we compare two symbols, because to know whether we want to have this add this asterisk or not, we have to compare those two first elements. So that's the case here. So that's why it's a bit different. Usually we just take the first element, and using only this element we can decide what to do. But here we have to use this element also to calculate something, but we call out the function and this element is included here. So it's not as I can just take the two first elements, compare those, and then call out the function with this part of the string. This can also be a case, but then this is a different problem already. Here what I want to have is that I want to, let's say if I have an input of A, then I want to have asterisks between all those A's. If I would solve it as this, so that if I get the first elements out and see that they are the same. So let's add an example with 4 A's. So if I have another A here, then I can just add one here. But if I would take the string, what's left over after the first two elements, then I would get something like that. I can see that the first elements are the same. I get AA, and now because I have taken those two A's and now I take those two A's, I cannot say anything about those two. I won't compare those. So then I would just get something like that. So in this lower or this second example, then we can say that there are no overlapping matches. Here there are overlapping matches because I am checking those two A's, and now I overlap the check with those two A's, and now I check with those two A's. So basically it's not more complicated or simpler solution, it's just what's required currently. And currently in this example it's said that overlaps are okay. So basically between every element I have to check whether those two symbols are the same. And basically this is the solution you have to write into your code. So thank you.